Okay, but like, why are we in the middle of nowhere? But also, look how pretty those bushes look. Okay, hi, welcome back. We got some packaged food and a dream. We are going from Marion, Illinois to Rockford, I think. I wrote it down, but then I moved the piece of paper. Yeah, Rockford, Illinois. So we are at least unlocking Rockford, but I believe we should also unlock another city at least along the way. And I'm really excited for that because, like, heck yeah. We love to discover things. I'm sure this is fine. We zoom in, don't even worry about it. But welcome on in. I hope you guys are doing so well. I've really been enjoying Illinois. The last couple trips I've done, I've been trying to do, if not, oh, hello, if not exclusively in Illinois because it's the new DLC, as much in Illinois as I can. And it's been going well. I love how green and pretty and great everything is. It's 10 out of 10. I also think they must have done, like, they did another user interface update, as you can see, because now we can see how much money I have and how much money I've made recently and how much damage, which is new and I don't love because nobody needs to see that. But I also think they've done like another, oh shoot, we're just gonna have to blow it. I think they've also done another graphical update because things be looking real pretty here, and I'm here for it. I wonder if, actually, I'm very curious, maybe the next trip I do, I should go outside of Illinois and see if everything else looks as good as Illinois or if it's just Illinois. I believe, and I could be wrong, I know it's it's a South state next, and I think it's South Dakota. It's either that or, no, I'm pretty sure South Dakota is the next DLC that is slated, and then I believe after that it is freaking British Columbia, and I'm so excited. Catch me driving them roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. British Columbia, Western Canada, take me home, country road. I'm so excited because, like, I know obviously like BC a lot. And I'm excited. I'll be like going home. But anyway, anytime there's new DLC, I'm just jazzed about it, as we know. Any excuse I have to play ATS, I'm jazzed about it. Like, we almost went head on. There have been times when I'm like editing ATS videos and I'm like, all I want to do is play ATS now. Which is, and then I get like 8 videos of ATS and then I forget that I need to play ATS, and then I get into a situation like I am today where I don't have anything going up on Monday, and today is technically Sunday morning because it's after midnight on Saturday, which makes it Sunday, but it's fine. Everything's fine. I think we're left lane here anyway. We speed in just a little bit. Zoom. But yeah, oh my goodness. So I feel like, short of like the last couple videos that I've recorded, I feel like it has been a couple weeks since I've recorded. I kind of caught up like 2 videos ago on like all the life changes and stuff, and then about all my crafting that I've been doing, but I have still been volunteering in that time. And ooh, I will say the last 2 weeks have been better than like the preceding, I would say, like 4 weeks. But I was really like foot out the door at a point, because I'm like, it's so frustrating because like there's someone who's like taken over like a lot of things and it's not getting better. It's just getting worse. Like today I do donation. Oh my goodness. I should like, hello, hi. For anyone who doesn't know, I do volunteer at a library bookstore. And I specifically do donation duty. I'm trained to do the stuff in the store, and I was doing the store for like a month, but it's just not feasible and realistic with everything going in life to do, like, honestly, even sometimes just the hour and a half that I go in. Although I was like looking, and they like want you to have a 2-hour commitment a week, and I'm like an hour and a half max, but that's because I'm quick at what I do, right? Like, I pick a very integral time, I time it well when I go in, and I get everything done. And for other people, it'll probably take longer, but anyways. So I do donation duty, which basically consists of taking any of the donations that come in from the store or that come from our storage unit and then sorting them. And there's like a few different ways that you sort them. Anything before 1980 is vintage. So that goes into a specific area to get checked by the vintage team, which at one point I had said when I first started, like, I would love to be on this. And it took the person in charge of vintage 4 months to say, oh, I remember your message that you sent to, because she asked me to send her a message, so I did, and she never got back to me. She's like, are you still interested? I'm like, no longer, because one, life has changed, so not feasible, but also two, like, if you're going to if you need help on vintage, which I know you do because it's a disaster, if you need help on vintage and it takes you 4 months to get back to me, I can tell you that is a mess. And I'm like, I don't need to be involved in there, right? I volunteer for fun. And, you know, to give back to the community. I think that's very important. So anyways, so there's vintage, and then you also sort fiction from nonfiction, kids books separately, cookbooks and like audiovisual stuff all separately, right? So like any of the stuff that comes in, I sort it. And then when things have been checked in the various sections, like we have an Amazon team, so they go through all the nonfiction to see if anything that has come in is worth putting on Amazon to sell, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. And if it is, they keep it. If not, then they move it to like the checked section. And then from there, I take those books and I move them to their specific categories. So like, you know, travel's a section, there's like languages sections, there's biography, history, psychology, science, all that kind of stuff. So like, I do that, and I really enjoy that. And then there's also like fiction, also gets checked, just for, in terms of like, if there's some that are like really good, like basically new quality, they will go to a specific place and they'll be priced separately. Oh, and there's like a science fiction section too within that, that is taken care of differently, and like large print and whatnot. And so I just sort it all, and it's nice. I have very little human interaction with like people, like the general public, which I love. I live for logistics. I think like that's one of the things that I have always loved so much doing, is like the behind the scenes logistical planning. When I worked my summer job, I was the manager of a store at a remote marina resort, and it was like, and like, because you're only getting orders like once a week and you're in the middle of nowhere, like, you know, it was really fun to be like, okay, how can we sort this? I'm remembering now that we changed over. The company that was providing us stuff got bought out, and so then they were gonna try this new one. I do remember my boss coming over and being like, can you be a witness and sign this paperwork for me? I ain't there anymore, but I live on in that contract, I guess. But, you know, I've always kind of loved that, like trying to like figure out how to get stuff out there and whatnot. And then prior to that, like working in warehouses, like I enjoy that crap. And I especially like it when I, you know, can kind of do it on my own. So like, as much as like I can 100% see ways to optimize the stuff, the volunteering and stuff. But there is one person who is just like continuously, I've talked about it before, has continuously taken over more and more and more space in the rooms, to the point that it's like, I literally went into we have a humor section, okay? I was putting away big books, like big coffee table books, that kind of thing. I was putting those away, and I noticed that in the big book section, there was a humor book. And I'm like, why is this here? Like, this isn't obscenely large that it couldn't be in the humor section. That's weird. So I grabbed it and I went over to the humor section, and it was just taken over by books. Boxes of books that shouldn't have been there, that I later found out were there because of the person that's taken over everything. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like, so much space has just been continuously taken over. But anyway, there's like a back corner of like the main donation room. It's impassable at this point. It's supposed to be an aisle that you can walk down. It's impassable. I went back there, and like, I have a volunteer that I work with whom I absolutely adore. We love to talk about, I call him Mr. History. If you know, you know. We have great conversations about politics and history and so many things. Like the other day we were talking, and we were like talking, I don't remember, he was getting rid of old newspapers that there was no need to have anymore. They're like from like the 50s, but he's like, yeah, no, there's nothing we can do with them. We've tried, nothing. And I was like, oh, I have some old newspapers from 9/11 specifically, because I was like, whoa, dang, like that's crazy. I've always been a history nerd. Even when I was really young, I was like, Mom, can we go to the store so I can get newspapers? I remember going down to the gas station like late at night so I could get a couple newspapers on this. So like I have those somewhere. And I was talking to him, like, I remember exactly what I was doing, because we didn't have cable at the time. Oh, snap, you have a seatbelt. We didn't have cable at the time. And my paternal grandma called, and I answered the phone, and she's like, it's World War III. And, you know, I was young, and I was like, oh, Lord, I knew what world wars were, but I was also young, and that was terrifying first thing in the morning. And so I was, like, telling him about that and, like, the experience. And then he was telling me that he was, because he's elderly, and he was telling me when he was in middle school when JFK was assassinated, and he's like, I remember the vice principal came on the PA system and, you know, announced, hey, JFK has been assassinated, everybody go home. And I'm like, that's so wild, and so crazy. And so, like, it's just so nice, like, because we both enjoy history, we both enjoy talking about politics, we also both enjoy talking about like religion, like all like the big topics that you don't necessarily like approach with like random strangers and stuff. So it's so nice that we can have like these like fun intellectual conversations, but also like ridiculous conversations too. Like we have a lot of banter, and I think some people just don't get our banter, because you know, we'll both be sassy towards each other. And I think like people who don't, he's a bit of a quiet guy, right? But I'm also like super persistent, and I'm fun. People like me. And so I think a lot of people just don't get to know him very well. They just go, oh, he like works very hard, but he's really quiet and stuff. But he's also hilarious. And so we just always like banter back and forth. Like I'll clear off a shelf and then I'll go bring stuff and put it away, and like I'll come back and he'll be bringing more out. I'll be like, excuse me, I just cleared that shelf off, and he just does a little giggle and, you know, walks away. But yeah, so that has been good. And like, you know what, I will say the couple weeks where I was like, ugh, I'm not live, laugh, loving volunteering, they were a couple weeks where he wasn't around. So either he left before I got there, or he just didn't come in on that day and stuff. And so, you know, makes a difference for sure. But the last 2 weeks have been nice because he's been there, and like I said, we've been able to have like some deep and intellectual and fun conversations as well. So that's been good. But yeah, no, the one, oh yeah, so ways that we joke, I had to get into that back section that I was talking about that was like so overfilled that like it's a death trap. And I said, hey, if this falls on me and I die, make sure you sue for emotional support. And then I came back, I'm like, so sorry, didn't fall on me. No money for you. And he laughed, and then he went back there and he came back out. I'm like, dang, it didn't fall on you either. And then I was like, best case scenario, it falls on one of us but doesn't like really truly damage us, or like not like life threatening, but like just enough that we could like, you know, sue for a little something. Because like, and I'm pretty sure in terms of fire code and accessibility, I think they're basically the same on this, is you need to have at least 4 feet between stationary objects. And so like the shelf to the shelf is 4 feet, but there's like 3 feet of books and boxes and everything that are stacked in that section. And so 1, accessibility, and then 2, fire. And like, I don't know, like, here's the thing though, it's like, I don't know if, say, like the fire marshal showed up, if they would get grumpy at that, because it technically is a dead end, but I still feel like they'd get grumpy at that. I remember when I worked at a big box store, if the fire marshal showed up, there'd be like a call over the radio, and it was like, if you were available, you went to the back to make sure that the 4 feet was good. And like, we were usually pretty good for it, but there'd be like just like certain sections in the warehouse that would just get like filled up, and so you'd be like, oh no. But yeah, so like I, you know, like it's important. And then I remember in the bookstore, I came in one day and someone was like, how much of the distance, because I remember I got in the bookstore, I was like, oh my god, like why are these 2 carts here? Like they are encroaching on the space so much. And someone's like, what do you think the space is there? I'm like, ain't 4 feet. And we measured, it was like 3 feet or something. And I'm like, well, let's just move this. And the person that had put the carts there was the person that, you know, like, has taken over a lot of things. And the person I was talking to, they're like, nope. She's like, I'm not going to move it because I don't want to get in trouble. And I'm like, okay, if you have one volunteer that is like, that people are afraid of, that is like doing all this stuff, that is not a good situation. Is that a cop? Maybe. Just in case. For anyone who doesn't know, that's my strategy. I didn't even get a vehicle crash for that. Heck yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, my strategy to avoid tickets, like, because I'm well over the speed limit here, so it would be a decent sized ticket. I got a $5,000 ticket earlier tonight. Whoops. But anyway, if you hit a police officer in this game when you are speeding, you may get a $900 crash ticket, which I don't think I got that time, but you will avoid potentially like a $2,000 to $5,000 ticket. And so I think it's worth it. Although, and I will say, previously when I was doing that, after the last update, I was still occasionally getting the ticket, and I was like, well, that's annoying. But I think since the Illinois update, I don't think that's been the case. Although that might have been the only one that I hit to avoid that. Maybe there's 2. I don't know. But it's a great strategy. Where are we going to again? Rockford. I saw a rock, and my brain. Do you guys know the Marilyn Monroe movie, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes? It's a great movie. When I was growing up, my paternal grandparents had a lot of movies and stuff, and so I'd go over and hang out with them, and then I would take movies home. And I think that's how I got into Grease. Maybe that might have been my maternal grandparents. But I think it's how I got into like Dirty Dancing and stuff. But also Gentlemen Prefer Blondes with Marilyn Monroe is a movie that I just absolutely loved. And it starts with a song, and it goes, we're just 2 little girls from Little Rock, and we lived on the wrong side of the tracks. But anyways, I saw Rockford, and my brain immediately went, Little Rock. It's a good movie. You should definitely watch it. It's super quirky and super cute. It's got great music. I kind of want to watch it again. We are getting close to our destination. I was hoping we would get another city, but it looks like Rockford is going to be the only one we get. Oh, that's a dune buggy. I thought it was like a really old school, like, Model T. There's Rockford. You're just 2 little girls from Little Rock, and lived on the wrong side of the track. Ooh. You know what? I'll leave it for the next one. I'm just gonna go. Okay, I was like, I don't know how I'm not getting tickets. I was gonna talk about like analog media specifically, but I'll wait till the next one because we've only got like 5 minutes left here. But that definitely, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes made me think of that. I definitely think I own it digitally though, and not. Oh shoot, we got to turn here. I think I own it digitally and not physically for that one. I guess physical media more so than analog media. Oh no, a red light violation. Oh my god, get on the road. Oh no, a red light violation. Oh my god, I'm crashing. Imagine this guy at the security gate just sees me rolling around the corner. Like, I wouldn't let me in. Like, you don't know that I'm not like inebriated, or, you know, maybe someone's threatening me. I wouldn't trust me. Wee. Wee. There we go. Mostly straight. Honestly, okay. The last trip I did, I think I got like 0 damage. And this one, I think we're only at like 1% damage, which I know 1% damage is not great, but it's better than the 18% I had earlier tonight. So, you know, we'll take the wins as we get them. Heck yeah, look at us parking like a pro, or pro adjacent. It's not bad. That trip was supposed to be close to 7 hours, if not over 7 hours. But you know what? We're professional speeder here. Anyways, thank you for watching and hanging out as we continue to discover Illinois. I think the next one I might divert from Illinois to see what the graphics look like in the other states and see if it was like across the board graphical update or just here. I did notice, like I said, the last update, I did notice that there was, when the user interface changed, I did notice the graphics changed. So maybe I'm just crazy and it was like this all the time. But yeah, thanks for being here. Subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you so soon. Bye.